you can hear me?
Yes, my friend, you are live on air. Are you a
Yes.
Muslim?
No. First of all, it's an honor to talk to you, Christian Prince. We watch many of your videos. Thank you that I can speak to you now. I have a question because I watched a video of Pierre Vogel. You know him?
Yeah.
He made a video of your book, Allah's Deceive, where you made fun of Allah because the story of Musa, where he punished the people because they were afraid to fight the giants. You made fun of Allah in this. I don't have the book. I want to read it myself, but I don't have it yet. And yeah, you made fun of him, but then he showed us the exact same story in the Bible. Do you know what I mean?
No, this is not the exact same story.
But you wrote
what exact same story?
They told Musa that there were giants in that. I don't know where Musa let them go, but there were giants and they were afraid to fight against them. And then you made fun of giants. And then Allah punished them 40 years. And then you wrote there.
Yeah, you see,
the only way.
This is not what my book is saying. You can go and read it. This is why you said you did not have my book. If you go in the Quran, here we go. We put it in front of you. You will see, and when we read Muslim interpretation, right? We will see that the Muslims, they say that Allah, He ordered the Jews to go and fight and take the Holy Land, right? And next time, if you want to call me to talk about this topic, then get my book and read for me what it says there, specifically about what he is saying, so we can understand what he is saying better. But if you go to chapter 5, verse 21, it says, "Oh, my people, enter the Holy Land, and which is a sign for you." And then the people, they said to Moses, "We will not enter that land because it have a people who they are mighty of power." And then only 2 people, they joined Moses in the fight. Yeah. So the story, remember, everything Muhammad he take anyway is coming from somewhere. Either is coming from the Torah, or is coming from the tradition of the Jews, or the fictions, or the legends of the Jews. And some, they are coming from the Sabians, some they are coming from the Christians. So Muhammad is a fraud who copy from others. And when he copy, he add his own spice, and that make the story stupid.
Yes, but the 2 persons who agreed with Musa were the only 2 persons, and in the Bible there were also just 2 persons. The rest of the persons in the Bible, also in the Quran, Allah punished them 40 years. He let them in the desert go.
Do you remember the verses?
You know what I mean?
Do you remember the verses from the Bible about it? The one he mentioned?
That was Numeri chapter 40. I remember.
It was what?
The book Numeri, the 4th book of Moses, I think, chapter 40. It was the 4th book or the 5th book, but I think the 4th book, chapter 40.
Book Numeri?
Yes. The words there were, yeah.
I don't know, like, in Arabic we have different words for the names. Anyone knows what he's talking about with exactly the name? Numeri, I don't know.
You mean Numeri? You mean in the Bible?
Yeah, what is...
It was the 4th book of Moses.
Okay.
Chapter 40. 14. Sorry.
4th books of Moses, chapter 14?
Yes.
14.
That writes the story.
Okay.
Where they went to the land and came back and said, yeah, they are mighty people. We don't want to fight them.
Okay.
And then the Lord God talked to Moses, and yes, then he punished the other people who didn't want to fight 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first
Pierre
book.
Vogel. Yeah, Pierre Vogel showed the story in the that you mentioned about the Islamic story in your book, and then he showed this story from the Bible.
Well, until now, I could not really find the verses you are talking about.
If you read chapter 40, the first book of Moses,
okay.
some first.
Yeah, the first book of Moses. Hold on. 40 or 14?
Not the first.
40
not the first book. Chapter 14.
You said the first book?
No, the fourth. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So,
the fourth.
Yes, my English is not good. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I remember I made a video to answer this person.
Yes, someone told in the comments, but I didn't saw that video. I watched that video from Pure Fogel just yesterday, and I thought directly, why? Because how he made the video, it looked like you made fun of Allah, but in the Bible there's the exact same story. Yeah, and I'm a Christian.
Yeah. Well, you need to read for me what
I didn't understand
saying.
Why.
No, you need to read for me what I said, and you need to read for me what he said, and then we will laugh, because still we will laugh. Now, hold on, let me try to see.
Okay. I remember he showed the sentence in your book where you said the only way Allah loves you is if you are not afraid to fight against giants. No, the only way Allah loves the Jews is if they are not afraid to fight the giants. But Yahweh, Jehovah in the Bible, it's like you could say the same.
No.
You know what I mean?
First of all, because they disobey the Prophet, not because they are not, And here, what Muhammad he present in the story, you will see that Muhammad is presenting that God, he ordered them to take a land, and this is not their land anyway. And this God, he did not even tell them why they have to enter the land and why he have to convince them. Now I'm trying just to find the verses you're quoting for me. I'm just trying. Hold on.
Do you mean the verse from the Bible?
Yeah.
Yes, like I said, it was chapter 14.
There's nothing called chapter 14. You are not giving me even the name of the book. I'm trying just to find out what you meant.
I said the fourth book of Moses. Moses has
fourth books of
5
Moses.
books.
Yeah, but he have a name, right? So did he say to you the fourth, or because your English is not good?
Yes, the 4th book.
Okay.
Yes, and the books in the Bible, they have chapters.
14 and
yes. Verse. It begins in chapter 40. From the first verse to
40 or
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. 40. Can you tell
14,
me?
14, brother. 1-4.
Okay, and the verse is?
From verse 1 to verse 10, I don't know anymore, but it starts verse 1.
Okay, hold on. So, 4th.
He showed a screenshot from a photo from your book. In that photo, we could see just one.
You see, because
part.
when you say the 4th book, that will be the book of Numbers. Is that the book he mentioned to you?
Yes.
Okay. So why do not tell me from the beginning? Because you keep saying to me 14 and 40, and
Yeah, I wanted to say the 4th book, the chapter 14 of that book.
Okay, and what verses he mentioned again?
Again, verse 1.
Verse 1?
Verse 1 to, wait, I have to look in my Bible. It begins verse 1. That the story begins where the people go to the land, and some verses later, exact same, God punished them for 40 years. And he showed that in your book
what
you made fun
of... anybody understand what this guy is saying? What verse number 1?
Brother, in the Pure Vogel, he made a video.
I understand. You keep saying the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, in verse...
Yes, brother.
Okay, if we go to the book of Numbers, verse number 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Verse number 1 of the 4th book of Moses.
Well, I have verse number 1. It doesn't say what you are saying.
Yes, in verse number 1, the story begins. It's
the story began. Oh, okay,
mostly the whole chapter.
Okay, and where it says...
it starts verse 1.
Okay, and continue.
I look where this with the 40 years punishment says, but I have to search it now. I just watched it in my bed. I don't remember, but you know that story in the Bible.
My friend, the story is in front of me. I'm reading it. Because what you are saying is absolutely not true.
Brother, I checked it in the
Okay,
Bible. I
read the
don't know
verse for
what you
me.
said
Okay,
in your book.
let us read the verse together. Read it. Go ahead.
Okay, here, verse 26.
26, go ahead.
That's German. I have to translate it in English.
Okay.
The Lord spoke to
Moses
Musa
and Aaron. Okay.
yes.
And
I
continue.
heard what one moment, please. Yes. Oh no. Yes, verse 34. There he says 40 days, and because each day 1 year, you know? Yes, and the same punishment.
Well, we know, we said many times that the Bible is, we know that the God of the Bible, he punished the Jews and he did not let them go to the land for 40 years. It's not a secret. But what the Quran is saying is a different story. Read with me carefully. When Allah, he says, "Oh, my people, enter the Holy Land," which Allah has assigned to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. What they said there's people of mighty power there. This is why we will not enter it, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, if we continue reading from verse number 20, verse number 20, 21, 22, God, he's saying to them, "I showed you my miracles, for many time, and you tried me many time, and they will not see the land which as I promised for them. Those who they insulted me, they will not enter the land." Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I understand.
What is the reason in the Quran they will not enter the land?
I don't know.
No, what do you mean? The verse in front of us.
Because I'm not in YouTube. You mean because they were mighty, the people of that land?
All right, but why did not? So did he in the Bible? Does it say the same reason?
No.
Okay, so the Bible says in verse number 23, "They will not see the land which as I promised for them. All of those who they insulted me, they will not enter it." Correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Here in the Quran, they did not insult Allah. They said to him,
"Yes,
how we want to fight people who we cannot win against them, right?"
Yes.
So did Moses in the Quran says, "Well, Allah, he told us we will have victory, don't worry about it"? Did he say to them that don't worry, Allah is fighting with us? Did he say to them that this is a, all what the Moses, he said to them, "Oh, my people, enter the Holy Land, which is Allah assigned to you, and turn not your back." But he did not say to them, "Allah told me that you should not turn your back, otherwise you will be a loser." Same time, where the Jews, they insulted Allah. They did not even mention the word Allah. They said to him, how we can enter a land, have a people of mighty power, who we cannot win against them, obviously. Read carefully, verse number 22. They said, "Oh Moses, in this land, there is people of a great strength, and we shall never enter it till they leave it. When they leave, they will enter it." Correct? Okay. So the people of Musa, they did not insult Allah, did not say anything about Allah. They said to them, well, how we can, if Allah assigned it to us, which is mean, if he assigned it to us, well, why he don't let them leave? We cannot win against them. They are people of mighty power. It's like now saying that a little tiny country is going to fight USA. How we can fight against them? They will lose. So they did not mention Allah, they did not insult Allah, and there is no insult. There in the Bible, there's those people who they insulted God. They said they will not enter the land. Those people, they will not enter the land. Secondly, in the verse in the Quran, it says, two men, they say, let us attack. But what two men can do? I mean, who is stupid here?
Yes, you're right.
But in the Bible, it says that there is people who they are agree with Moses. Those are people who will be promised to see the land, and they will enter it. But yet, still, they cannot win the war with the people, because if they are two people, they cannot win any war. Who in the world will believe that there's three people, like Moses and two servants, or two, let us say, followers, they are going to win against an army?
Yes, of
All right.
course.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you go in the Bible in verse number 26, then God, he says and actually, if you see in the Bible, you see in the Quran, it says Moses, right? Okay, where is Aaron? There's no Aaron in the story.
Yes.
If you go in the
Yes.
Bible, you will see that God, he spoke to Moses, and God, he spoke to Aaron, which means the message was both for both, not only for Moses. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So because and even the Bible described that those people, they are evil people, those who they are not obeying God. And then he says, you know, you will die in the desert. But here in the Quran, those people, they did enter the land after 40 years, right?
Right.
Okay. If you go to verse number 33 in the Bible, you will see that your children, they will be a shepherd in the desert for 40 years. They will suffer because of your dishonesty until all your bodies collapse in the desert. You will be punished for 40 years by the days which you don't, you know, like you explore the land with. 40 day for 40 years. Okay, if we go in the Quran, where is the story here? Do you see the 40 days? Do you see the explanation? You see, no.
No.
Okay, now we continue. Moses, he in the past, in verse number 36, he sent men to explore the land for 40 days. And they were complaining, which means they complained for 40 days. All right? And they came
All
back
right.
with land full of disease and full of, you know, and there's no water, etc., etc. So they were unhappy with the mission Moses he asked them to do. All right? And then you go to the Quran, you will find none of that. So, and then suddenly, you know, the Quran, you know, jump from the story of being in the desert for 40 days. Suddenly he is jumping to the story of Adam, the children, Adam, Abel, and Cain, right? But what does it have to do with Moses? Did Aaron betray Moses?
No.
Okay, so the whole story does not make sense because Muhammad, he took it from the Bible. He he misquote, he played with it, and he had his own fiction. Now, if we go back
Like
to
every
that,
time.
if we go back to the verses where in the Bible it says that there's two men they will fight with Moses.
Nowhere.
Okay, but in the Quran, but you are the one who said to me that this guy he showed you from the Bible that there is two guys they will fight with Moses.
Yes, he just mentioned two people. He didn't said what they do.
No,
I
but
didn't thought
in the
about that
Quran, you see,
carefully.
okay, but it's you who said to me the point. The point is, you said that I said in my book that look like this God, he will not like you unless you fight for him, right?
Right.
Okay. Where in the Bible it says go and kill those people here in this chapter?
You're right, Christian Prince. Sorry. I didn't thought carefully about that.
So you see here, he told them to enter the land, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Then, but in the Quran it says assault those people.
Yes.
All right. So when
Big
we read
difference.
here, yeah, when we read, we will see, and then there's two men. They told Moses, two men who don't fear Allah. They said, "We will not, let us go and attack them, even in the gate." You know, the word assault is not a messed up translation. This is the Muslim translation. Let us let us attack them on the gate, right? Okay. So there's an attack will be done by three men.
Oh.
Moses and two men. You know.
Yes.
So is that really what happened? You know.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So all what the Bible says that in verse number 25 it says those giants, and when we say giant doesn't mean they are like in the movies, like they are like Adam, he was 35 meter tall or 60 meter tall. So here you see those the Kenyat and the giant, they are living in this valley. All what he is saying to them, go there and you will I will make you inherit the land. He did not say attack. He did not say launch a war. He did not say do anything. He said just go there. Is that correct?
It's correct.
Here we have an attack, and then the attack became more funny, that there's two men and one guy, his name is Moses. They are going to attack a nation of giants. But the promise in the Bible that I'm going to make you inherit, which means I'm going to let this nation disappear. Which means even if they go in war with you, they will not win. So, and remember at that time, here, if you read in the Quran, you will see there's a gate, there's a door. So, according to the Quran, they are entering a city.
Yes.
Okay, but if you go to verse number 25, and the Bible says, and those giant and those Canaanite, they are living in a valley. So turn your back, turn and go tomorrow toward the desert, through the way in the Red Sea. Correct?
Correct.
All right. And so the story is totally different. When this guy he is quoting, he is misquoting. We know that Muhammad is copying. We know that Moses is a theft from the Bible. Don't we know that?
Yes, we know.
Okay. Do the Muslims even know what Moses mean? They don't know. You know. Do they know what Abraham mean? No. So they are copying all those stories from the Bible, and Muhammad he have his own version of the story, which will make it funny. So now we have two guys. Are they smart really? Are they obeying Allah? Because why? They want to attack a city full of giant with a guy, his name is Moses. If Moses and two men, they can do that, then they do not need to run from the Pharaoh.
Yes.
Because they can fight the army of Pharaoh by themselves. Two men and one Moses, that's it.
Yes.
But what happened? The whole nation of Moses ran away. Right?
Right.
Okay, why? Because simply there's a weakness. They cannot fight that Pharaoh. So they needed the miracle of God so they can win against the Pharaoh, correct?
Yes.
Otherwise, those poor people who they were slaves, they are no match to fight an army like the army of the Pharaoh.
Yes.
Yeah. So when the Muslims they make you know, when you asked me in the beginning, I was reading the 14 number 14 for I want to understand what you are saying. But all of us, we know that God, he punished the people of the Jews for 40 days, for 40 years, for a reason. In the Quran, why it's 40 years? Nowhere it says why. Why? Because Muhammad is a thief.
Yes.
And because the Quran is a stupid book, right away he jumped from 40 years of Moses lost, people lost in the desert, right away jumped to Kabul and Cain. But Moses, his brother, did not betray him. Right? So what is the connection? There's no connection. Why? Because somebody is making things up, and then he jumped right away and he go back to Israel after he speak about children of Adam. So the God of the God of Islam, which is Akka Muhammad, every single story about a name mentioned in the Bible is coming for sure from the Bible or from the Jewish tradition. We know that. As an example, when the Muslims they made fun of Israel struggling with God, correct? Okay. Then we find that Moses, he did fight the angel of God, and he did hit him in the eye, and he take his eye out, right?
Right.
Why Muslims they find it very strange and very funny to fight with the to have a struggle with God or the angel of God, but they don't see a struggle and fighting between a man, his name is Moses, and the angel of death is funny. Same time, when the Muslim they say to us, children of Israel, sorry, I'm losing my voice.
No problem.
If we search the word Israel in the Quran, we will find it's all over the Quran. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. How many Muslims they made videos making fun of the verses in the Bible about God or the angel of God fighting with Jacob? Millions of videos, including Didat. So Didat, he said to them, your God is fighting with a man, you know. But because the idiot Didat, he in his book he did not know what the word Israel means. The word Israel is the one who fight with God or struggle with God. So when the Quran adopt the name He adopted the story. Before you call me, I was saying, who is a Muslim want to tell me what Israel mean? Didn't know. By accepting the name, you accept the story, which is in the Old Testament, which the Muslim refuse.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
So when this guy he lie and he say, well, the Christian Prince is making fun of the, you know, in the Quran, when his book is saying the same. Nowhere in my book is saying the same. This is a fabrication.
Yes.
Anything else this guy he said to you?
No.
Okay. Well,
But
I hope
you told me that if I listened carefully and thought about that, what he said carefully, I would understand that he fabricated, but I didn't. It was my
we'll just
mistake.
put the two chapters next to each other. Open the Quran, open the Bible, and put them next to each other, and you will see. You just read carefully. You will see the
Yes.
story here. It doesn't make sense. You know.
Yes, you're right.
Actually, God should not reward those who they are attacking a city only to men. You know, God should say to them, "This is foolish." You know, you will cause Musa to be
Yes.
killed. You know, Musa and two other men, they are going to attack a city, and city have giants. You know, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so the Muslim they try to find an excuse, and you see actually here in the translation, you see in the Muslim translation, even they are adding the names, and where they are adding the names from, where those names is coming from in the Quran, it's coming from the Jewish scriptures. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So whatever Muhammad he say is always stolen from somebody else. Always, no matter what.
Yes.
We cannot take what Muhammad he said without looking back where he is coming, where he got this from. Here in the translation, as you see in the front of us, it says Joshua and Caleb, or Caleb. Okay, where the Muslim they got those names between two brackets? Any Muslim can tell us? They will tell you we stole it from the Jews. So, okay, but is it this really what those two guys they did? Is it really what the Bible says when he says to you it's in the Bible? Let us read together. Anything else? So
No,
in the
that's
Bible,
wrong.
the conclusion in the Bible, there's nowhere here it says go and attack there's no city. First of all, it's a valley. They live in a valley, you know, and go and live in the same valley, and I will make you inherit. This is the promise. Those people here in the Bible, you know, they don't want it to go there, and God is wondering why you are even refusing. Didn't you see what I just did to you? I split the sea for you. Didn't you see how much I support you? Did I ever fail you? So the promises I gave you, it come to be true. And now I promise you this land, and yet you don't believe that is going to come to be true.
Yes.
This is why
You're
the Bible
right.
says those people they insulted God. Why? Because
Yes.
after all what he showed them of his miracle, it's not like people who saw no miracle of God. He just saved them from the Pharaoh. And yet they are worried about going there because there's people who they are people, you know, they are living in that land. If you go actually in verse number 22, it says, those who saw my glory and all my miracles, which I made in Egypt and in the desert, and they tried me tens of times, and still they did not obey me. They will not see the land. So here the argument is, the Bible is saying, because they disobey me, and they obey me from what? Go and enter the land. Right?
Right.
Yeah. And then when the Muslims they make an excuse, you know, I made an offer for this guy a long time ago to call me and debate me, correct? Do you know that?
Yes, yes. Even in
Okay.
your
If he
scripture.
is brave, he can quote for me exactly the same and show everybody that Christian Prince is lying or he's stupid. Why he did not take the
Yes.
opportunity? And now I ask you to
Yes.
go and ask him if he is a man, if he dare, if he have the courage, instead of talking to himself in a video, well, call a Christian Prince and let us see, and you can quote for him anything you want from his book, and let us read together and let us see.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So
anyway, I thought I was anyway sure that it was my fault that I understand it false. I knew it, but I didn't get it. You know, it seemed like he was right, but you know what I was sure that you are right, but I didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I watched many of your videos. You made me strong in my belief in Christ. Yes, just shocked me that I didn't get it. Sorry for my English.
No problem.
But I think you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then if you go actually, if you read the rest of the story, you know, you can continue and you can flip the chapter after, and you will see that those people who they are living there, they attack the people of Israel, right? So the topic here is that God, he promised them, and God, he showed them miracles, and God always supporting them, and still the Jews, they don't want to trust God. In the Quran, the story have nothing to do what we mentioned in the Bible, you know. Suddenly Moses is saying to them, all my people enter the Holy Land, which Allah assigned to you. And then they said to him, oh Moses, we have, you know, there's people of strength there. Shouldn't Moses says to them, well, so what? Isn't it God who support you? Isn't it God who showed you miracle? The Quran, the story is cut off. And because it's cut off, the guy who was making just a rap songs, you know, which is very silly, and he missed a huge part of the story, and then the story doesn't make sense.
Yes.
And if you ask yourself here now, and this is the question I want to give to all Muslims, if you read the Quran, you will see that because they said there's no, we will not enter it as long they are there. As long they are there. Okay. So the funny thing about the Quran is that this God, don't he knew that the people who live there, those are going to become Muslims? And they will become Hamas? So why Allah is creating a problem to take Jerusalem, to take the land, the Holy Land, in whole? Don't he knew that the Jews are the one who will be cursed and the Muslims are the one who will be blessed? So what this drama is about? So here you see that the God of the Muslim is stupid. The God of the Christians is promising the Jews to be blessed. Yes. And now the same Muslim, they are asking us to leave the land because this is the land of the Palestinians, right?
Yes.
Okay, but the Quran here saying because you refuse to take the land, Allah punish you and put you for 40 years in the desert. And not only that, the one who refused to kill the Palestinian, Allah, he called them fasiqeen. Fasiqeen mean the most filthy. So based on the stupid Quran, if you don't kill the Palestinian, you are filthy. But the Muslim today, they have a different story. They say to you, if you kill the Palestinian, you are, you know, this is human right, you know, against the, you know, what is justice? But so what is justice here then? So we are making fun of the stupidity of the God of the Quran. The God of the Bible, he promised them the land, go and take the land, and he gave them the land. The God of the Quran, he gave them the land, now he don't want to, do Allah want them to leave the land or not? The Quran says no. Correct?
Excuse me? Yes. Sure.
Yeah. So should we leave
Doesn't
the land?
Make sense.
Should we leave the land now? No. The Quran says no. Otherwise, Allah will make them go lose their way in the desert for 40 years. Even if they have GPS. You know? So, and then, okay, Allah, he forbid them to take the land for 40 years. Did the Quran says how they took it back? How they took the land? Nowhere. Why the story stop? Where is the rest of the story? Have you ever heard of a stupid story like this? Okay, Allah, it's like telling your kids, a story, and then in the middle of the story says, now we have to go to sleep. Second day they ask you, continue the story. He says, what story? Well, you told us they lost their way in the desert. Okay. So what happened next? What is the story?
Oh man.
Huh? Yeah, this is,
I don't know.
yeah. So there's no story in the story. It's just a stupid book.
Yes.
So when a Muslim and he's trying to be smart, tell him, we know that your God Muhammad is stealing from the Bible. This is not a secret for us. We know that he have no idea who is Moses. We know that. Okay, Moses. If you ask the Muslims, you heard that the Muslims saying, I think this guy himself, he have a video about it, about the Pharaoh. Did he have a video about the Pharaoh?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw a video with title of a Pharaoh. So if you ask the Muslims, who is the, they say there's a scientific miracle in the Quran, because the Quran called the Pharaoh, and the one who was saved, it was Ramses II. I don't know if you saw any video like that.
I didn't saw.
Yeah. So they say how the Quran knew that, but the fact the Quran don't say the Pharaoh is a name of is a king. The Pharaoh is the name of the person who is a king.
Yes, I saw the video of you.
Yeah, and not only that, you know, if you go and search what is the name of Ramses II, what is the name of his wife, you will see that his wife was Nefertari. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. You can search who is the wife of the let's see, I will search on Google, wife of the Ramses II. Okay, here we go. The wife of Ramses II is Nefertari. Okay. According to the stupid Muhammad, who is the wife of this person, this Ramses II? She is Asiya bint Muzahim. Asiya bint Muzahim. Let us go and find the hadith. Asiya bint Muzahim. So how it is the same person, but Muhammad he have the wrong name? You see this? You see how we got the so all the story which is stolen from the Bible, all of it is a fiction, and Muhammad he add his own stupidity.
Yes.
And actually Muhammad he was promised the wife of Pharaoh to be his wife. I mean, why this guy wanna sleep with the wife of the Pharaoh?
Yeah, I saw that. You mentioned that in one of your videos. That's crazy.
Yeah. So my friend, I want you in the future, if a Muslim, he really have the courage, says to him, as long you have something against Christian Prince, you can prove it, and you can make everybody not to listen to him. Why you don't call him?